how do you feel? I mean, we were talking earlier about repurposing songs, you know, and like making it into a lot of different assets. How do you feel about having a song where you play it on acoustic guitar, you play it on electric guitar, you play it on the piano? Do you play piano?
I do. They call me the Claw, you know, when I play piano. I don't really play it live very often. I write a lot of songs on piano because I know how to structure chords, and it's an awesome tool for me to use. Austin, a song on my well, you're familiar with that song.
Yeah.
On my EP was it was the first song I ever wrote on piano, and it was just kind of like, okay, this is like the full conception of the thing, and then it was like bing, you know, and then just kind of got it going. So that's one of those.
But that must be sort of hard to write songs. Well, not hard to write them, but hard in a way that you get attached to them, and then you can't take a piano. I mean, I guess you can do it on the keyboard.
Sure, absolutely. And so that's kind of like, you know, I do like another version of that song, and you know, when I play live, instead of it being on piano, it's kind of like, you know, I woke up and I had to sigh. I could barely keep it up in my mind. It was gonna be a long day. You know, it just has like a completely different feel to it. But at the same time, you know, I'm fortunate to be surrounded by enough musicians and stuff to kind of help me through that. And, you know, as I continue practicing the piano on my own, it's like, you know, still a student, you know, once I can get a little bit better at that, you know, like maybe I'll start, you know, lugging a keyboard along to shows with me and just playing.
Well, I think that's awesome as a, well, as a fan. I mean, just in general, like the more instruments you can play, I feel like at the end of the day, you know, you're writing songs and it's all about telling stories, you know, so whether you're using a harmonica or whether you're using a tambourine or a guitar or, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. I mean, I think that's the great thing is like, if you go into the studio, you can get somebody to do it perfect.
Absolutely.
But I mean, like you and I were just chilling out here, and when you play that, it's great. You know?
See, and that's what I liked about when Ben and I, you know, my producer out in Austin, we were working on the Segway. We basically went down there and just recorded. I think we recorded all but one of those songs. So basically about 5 songs in about a week and a half, and that's fast for us. You know, I'm sure there's people who can do stuff a lot more quickly than we can. But
you had already had them written. You just recorded them in 5 days.
Some of them I actually wrote there. I finished writing Austin while I was down there, and I finished writing a song called One More Chance when I was down there. The other ones I already had written, and we just like started laying them down. But it was cool. Like I think on that record I played bass, I played acoustic guitar, I played electric guitar, I played mandolin.
Wow.
You know, yeah, it was really exciting.
Mandolin, that's sick.
Yeah, it was just exciting to be able to do all that stuff. Yeah, so it's like, you know, with my fingers being as bad as they are, it's exactly, you know, work out the best in the world, but so anyway. But yeah, so I mean, ultimately, you know, the way that a song is produced, especially in a sound recording that, you know, people are going to hold on to for a while, it makes a big difference as far as like the mood of the song, the atmosphere, like what you're trying to convey, what you're not trying to convey, sometimes even more importantly. So, anyway.
How do airlines treat guitars?
How do they treat? Actually, like most of the time, I fly Southwest, just because, you know, I try to rack up like the Rapid Rewards program. Cha-ching, Southwest. No, I'm just kidding. But they don't usually ever give me a hard time. You know, it's like usually like the other passengers are like, "Are you gonna be able to fit that on there?" And I'm like, "Well, I've never had trouble before," and so.
Oh, you take it as a carry-on?
I take it as a carry-on.
Oh, that's ballsy, Matt.
So
I can see why the other passengers are...
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that I get a little nervous about, because if you're to put it, you know, it's like, I've heard that you can get like flight cases for your guitars, but I mean, I obviously don't have one.
What would be the difference between a flight case?
I mean, you know, I don't even know, like it's like maybe insulated more or something like that, but I know that the pressure makes the strings tighten, and so like especially if it's in cargo, I mean, all of a sudden you're dealing with like extreme temperatures. Usually it gets really cold when you're up really high, and so that can make the wood, I can't remember if it expands or contracts or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes it go one way or another,
which is not good.
Which is not good
Yeah.
for the wood to continually do. I guess it's mainly the concern, you know, like they always tell you to loosen your strings when you go on an airplane because, you know, if the strings get too tight, there's too much pressure, it'll snap the neck, which supposedly that happens. I need to go to Snopes.com and see if that's true or not. So.
And what about riding in a car? Like if you're touring in the hot summer,
yeah,
that can't be good.
I try my best to, you know, if I have a car that's conducive to that, like a van or something like that, it's, we'll just keep it in the cab so that we can kind of keep it cooled and air conditioned, you know. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. We'll go from Phoenix, you know, to LA.
Yeah.
You know, the difference in humidity is definitely there. The difference in temperature is there too. And then, you know, up to Utah, like up to Seattle or something like that. And it's like, you know, especially if that's all within a couple weeks, it's, you know.
For sure.
But, you know, if you have a well-built guitar, then hopefully it stands up. So.
Nice.
Anyway.
Nice. All right. Well, say goodbye to the people for the moment, Matt.
All right. We'll see you guys later on.
Yeah.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
Love it.
Sunday, bloody Sunday. Anyway, so